Hey, good morning. This is Jerry over at Wealth DynamX. Hope you're having a good day today. I just got done doing some cardio and I'm on my way back home. I want to just give you a really quick video, guys, on a few things to consider before you set up your Sacred Account. Now, you guys know I love the Sacred Account. That's my deal. I love it. But I want to make sure you have a full understanding of what you're getting yourself into. There's some things you need to know first. All right, so I'm going to start with the first one here. So when you set up your Sacred Account, and for those of you that don't know, the Sacred Account is a secure account that you're going to keep your saved income in for the sole purpose of investing for cash flow. Okay, that's the Sacred Account. It's not a bank account. It's not a 401k. It's not an IRA. You're actually utilizing high early cash value life insurance, dividend paying whole life insurance to be specific. So as you're setting up your Sacred Account, there's a couple things you need to know. The first thing you need to know, when you set this account up, you're making a commitment to saving. Okay, you're making a commitment. So like, if you look statistically, the goal, the benchmark should be to save 40% of your gross income. Now you might hear that and you're like, Jerry, that's crazy. How does anyone do that? That's a valid response. And there are ways for you to overcome it, but it's going to involve you pushing and increasing your income. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is the Sacred Account isn't just a tool that helps you save. The mindset should be that the Sacred Account should also be a tool that helps motivate you through negative pressure to increase your income. Because you're going to be like, man, I've got, $1,000 a month commitment going into my Sacred Account. It's coming out of my bank next week. And there's nothing that's going to stop it, right? So I need to make sure I've got enough money. So I'm going to go make more income. That's what the Sacred Account does, okay? So that's the first thing you should consider. Do you want that kind of pressure? Because if you don't, to be honest, you're probably not going to build wealth, but also you're not going to like the Sacred Account because it's going to give you that pressure whether you like it or not. And if that scares you, this is one of those decisions that's perfect because you make the decision once and then it just happens on a recurring basis. Okay, if it's left up to your self-discipline, you could choose not to do it. That's why people don't have enough money saved now. They can choose not to save. The Sacred Account, you can't choose not to do it. It's coming out every single month, no matter what, right? So that's the first thing you should consider. The second thing you should consider is if you're not bringing in enough income to cover your Sacred Account, you need to go increase the income. And I know that sounds a lot like what I just said, but it's almost the inverse. If you're not bringing in enough income, a lot of times people will be like, oh, I'm not making enough. I need to call and I need to lower my contribution. I need to put less money into it. And the reality is this, if you're not making enough income, you need to go make more. You need to go increase your sales. You would not consider canceling your mortgage just because you didn't think you could pay it this month. You'd be like, man, I got to figure out a way to keep my house. Okay, you wouldn't consider repoing your car because you couldn't cover it this month. You'd be like, man, I got to figure out a way to keep my car. Your Sacred Account should be not even just the same way, it should be even more so. Because if you're not doing this, you're not going to build wealth. The only way you build wealth is investing, and the only way you invest is having capital to invest. And if you're not saving that capital out of your income every month, you're not going to be able to get there. So your urgency behind making sure the Sacred Account gets funded and making sure that you make enough income should be very high. Okay, it should be the thing that you have the most intention on in your entire budget, right? It shouldn't be covering the mortgage. It shouldn't be rent. It should be the Sacred Account. Okay, the reason why is that's the account you're going to use to go invest. That's the account that you're going to go make passive income from. And that is the account that you're going to incrementally get financial freedom with as you start to build more and more passive income, right? So that's the recipe. Now, the last thing I want you to consider here with the Sacred Account is when you set it up, there are certain companies that are awesome and there are certain companies that look awesome and aren't. So if you're setting up a Sacred Account, I want you to realize there's about 4 companies that do it the right way. Okay, 4 companies out of all of the insurance companies out there, okay? And they're companies that I work with. They're companies I can actually set your account up through. So I'll go ahead and give them to you. There is Mass Mutual, there's Guardian, there's New York Life, and there's Northwestern Mutual. Okay, that's about it. There's a lot of other companies out there that will say they can do a great job. They'll tell you they can earn so much in dividends. They'll tell you their account will operate one way, but the reality is if you watch their track record, they've continually changed their product structure. Their dividends have underperformed, and they haven't done the job the way they said they could. So the reason why we choose those 4 companies is they have kept things the same. Okay, they have delivered what they promised. They haven't made changes. They're not tweaking their product all the time. Okay, there's a company right now that's really well known. I know a lot of my competitors offer them. Just this year, they took their core product for their Sacred account and they changed it entirely. You don't want that. That means that the company is unsure of their business model. You're gonna put your money with them. If they're unsure, what does that mean for you? Okay, so you wanna work with a company that's consistent, that's steady, that has financial strength, that isn't making all these changes, okay? So guys, those are the 3 things you need to consider. Now the first two you're gonna need some accountability on. Okay, if you set up a Sacred account and you don't have somebody that's actually focused on, all right, are you making enough income? Okay, are you making sure that you don't, cop out and lower your contribution? Are you making sure you're funding this thing? Are you making sure it does stay sacred, that you're using it for investments? If you don't have that accountability, you're probably not gonna get quite as far. Now, the third item of picking the right company, you don't necessarily need accountability. You need an expert that knows what they're doing. Okay, so this is the offer that I wanna make you. If you're watching this right now and you're like, hey, that made sense. I know I need the accountability. I know that I need to be saving more money. I wanna make the offer that if you work with us on your Sacred account, I will personally hold you accountable to making sure you put that money away. Okay, and on choosing the right company, if you work through us, I'll make sure you choose the right company. We don't offer companies that can't get the job done. Okay, ultimately, we're the ones out there setting up Sacred accounts, and we need to know that when we set up with a certain company, they're gonna make sure that our clients get the right account set up the right way, there's no changes, that it does what we needed it to do, and that it performs, right? So what I wanna do is, if you're interested right now and you're like, I need the accountability, I need the expertise, I'm interested in the Sacred account, I've been considering it for a little while right now, I want you to click the link below in the comments. It's sacredaccount.com. That's sacredaccount.com, www.sacredaccount.com. Okay, click on that link, check out that landing page. You're gonna see some information on the account itself, breaking down how it works. Everything you need to know, right? Submit your info. Don't worry, we're not gonna share that with anybody. Basically, just go through and fulfill all of the information and answer all the questions you can on what you're thinking on that landing page. And if after looking at that landing page, you're like, yep, this seems like a good idea, I'm still interested, I wanna set up a call, I wanna learn more, then I want you to submit your contact info to us. We'll get on a call, we'll answer your questions, you can ask us some questions. We're gonna ask you a couple as well to make sure that this is something you're ready for. And if it seems like a good fit, we can help you, okay? So I wanna make that offer to you. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will talk to y'all soon.